Hey everybody, it's Jen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have a little tutorial on how to make ornaments out of the Dollar Tree wood shapes. I had shown these on Instagram. A few people asked me if I would show how I made them, so I was planning to do it if I could find some more wood shapes, and I did find some. They're different shapes than this, but the process is the same, so we'll use them. But first, let me show you what I did. These are bells, obviously, and they look like cookies, I think, mostly because they have this like really rough part, like inside the wood itself. So I think that kind of makes it look like a baked cookie. So that's why I thought to make them cookies. So I used some tan acrylic paint to paint this. I edged it with a little bit of vintage photo ink just to make it look a little darker on the edges. I used some puffy paint to make the frosting, and this is what puffy paint looks like. I got this at Walmart. Just get the white puffy 3D paint. You can get it wherever, I'm sure, but so that's one that I use. And I also use some clear glitter, not clear, but yeah, clear white glitter. And then I use some clay sprinkles in peppermint candies and just like the regular sprinkle shapes. I also made a couple of, well, one poinsettia out of paper, a die that I had, and leaves that go with it. I added a little clay dollop of frosting, and I also added a hanging loop. So that was the first one. And I think that one came out so cute, nice and big size, right? And, if you have the products on hand besides the shape, it's just $1 to make. So this one, actually, this was the first one I made, and this was a learning curve. I think it came out pretty cute, but I made a mistake and I used Nuvo drops for the inside. And while I was doing it, I realized I needed a lot of Nuvo drops, and that is not cost effective because those can be expensive, So I used white Nuvo drops and filled it all in with that. And then I added some pink in lines, and I was planning to just like drag a toothpick through to make it look like, that pattern when you kind of spider webby sort of, but not a spider web. Anyway, it wasn't working out, so I just kind of smeared it all together and added glitter. So I think it came out pretty cute, but yeah, I like how this one worked out better. So I'm going to recommend using puffy paint. So in this one, I added a holly leaf embellishment that I had and just a button for the center of that. I painted it the same way and added a loop in the back. And yeah, so that's my second one. Again, I think they were really fun, easy to make. You can make them with your kids. It's a nice, cheap project to make, or with your friends. It does take a bit of time, though, between, letting things dry. So this video is actually going to probably go over a couple of days, just because I'm going to have to let things dry and that sort of thing. But, if you have time, you can do the same. So this is the shape that I got from Dollar Tree. It's kind of like a weird star. And this is the way it comes. It has very rough edges, as you can see. So what you want to do is sand them and kind of round them a little bit. I sanded one already so you could see how much better it looks, right? You want the edge to be a little rounded because that's the way a cookie would look. Sand the top too with fine grit sandpaper so the paint will adhere nicely. Just, get all the rough edges and stuff. I got most of the label off, but I'm just going to paint it, so it really doesn't matter. And it's the back. So this is the example, or, exactly how it looks like when you buy it. Let me just show you the code just in case. My store only had like these two left. I'm sure there were other shapes at some point, but woof, that Christmas stuff is just flying off the shelves everywhere. I went to Hobby Lobby today, and their Christmas craft section is just like one small part of an aisle now. But anyway, let's get started, okay? So I'm going to just show you how I go about painting. I'm going to use this acrylic paint. I got this recently at Target. It is called Snuggly Teddy Bear Satin Finish. For these cookies, I used an apple barrel paint called Light Mocha, and I ran out of it and threw out the thing, so I don't have it to show you, but it's at Walmart, and I think it's 59 cents. This was like $1.75 at Target, but I did like the color. So I'll just, get started and show you how I do it. I won't bore you with painting the whole thing, but I like to use this paintbrush. It's like a slanted paintbrush that I got in a pack from Hobby Lobby on clearance. So I just go ahead, give it a good painting. I'm not sure how many coats this one will need, but the other cookies, I think I did at least 2 coats. It could have been 3. But this actually looks pretty good. And yeah, so let me just go through this. Yeah, see how good that's looking? This might only need, I'll give it 2 coats for sure. But it's covering nicely. And luckily, this bottle, my paintbrush fits right in it, so I don't have to pour it out. But if I do pour out my paint, let me just show you what I use. I got this pack of like plastic cups. These are, I don't know, 5.5 ounces. I got this pack from Christmas tree shops, and I like it because they come with lids. So I could just pour paint in here and then cover it up so it doesn't dry out when, when I have to take a break in between projects or coats. So anyway, let me finish painting this up, and I'll come back when it's all done, okay? See you in a minute. Okay, so I have the cookie all painted. As you can see, it's a little bit darker than the other color that I had used, but I still think it looks good and it looks very cookie-like. This one, I did two coats of the Target paint. It's really nice. I don't think I've tried this paint before, so I do like it. I painted the back too. It covered up the label mostly, but I don't really care about it too much. All right, so now we're going to add some ink to make it look a little bit baked. So I like to use vintage photo in most of my projects. This is the Distress Oxide, but I also got out my Memento Rich Cocoa Memento, just in case this is not dark enough. So let's give it a try. I have one of my blending brushes. This one is from Amazon, and we'll get some ink on here, and let's just see what it looks like. So I'm just going to brush it on lightly. See, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go around in a circle on the edges. See how it looks a little bit more baked. And going in circles helps it to blend. So it's not just like a stark, dark brown line. Okay, and then go ahead and blend the bottom edge too. Just the top of it. Okay, so that makes it look more baked, more realistic, like a cookie. So I'm just blending a little bit more. You don't have to do much in the middle because we're going to do some icing there. Okay, so that's the ink. And that looks good. All right, so now we're going to paint the cookie. And like I said, my cats are fighting. Sorry about that. We're going to use a 3D puffy paint. So you're going to shake it up. Just do it off camera here. Okay, and let me get a paper towel just to put this on top of. Okay, and before I start, just like to start off a little bit just to make sure there are no air bubbles. And then what you're going to do, just like you're baking a cookie, is you're going to add an outline all around the edge. And you want to go like close to the actual edge, but not all the way up to it, just so it kind of looks like a real cookie. I like to bake, but I'm not like a really good decorator. But if you are, you could try that with your paints. Okay, so now that you have the edges, you're going to go ahead and fill it in. Just keep going around with your puffy paint, squeezing even pressure until it's pretty much filled in. Like that. Okay. And now I'm going to get my palette knife, which I forgot to bring over. Let me grab that. Okay, here's my palette knife. I'd gotten this at Dollar Tree, I believe. So I'm just going to go ahead and lightly smear it so it's more like icing. Because with icing, you might do this, with a offset spatula. So it's kind of the same thing. Just maybe want to bring it up a little bit. And this puffy paint is really nice and it's easy to work with. You can use Nuvo drops like I did, but if you use it on one of these big projects, you're using a lot of it, just to be warned. So I think this is more cost effective and it looks just as nice when it's done. Okay, so we have that all pretty much even. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add our embellishments to this. Just going to wipe that off. Okay, so this one, since it's a little bit darker, I think I'm going to add some gingerbread stickers to it. I'm going to have it be like that, for at the top. Actually, I'm going to spread this out just a little bit more. A little bit. Okay, good. So I got out some little gingerbread clay sprinkles. I'd gotten these from Creative Mojo Wholesale Studio. And then this pack of red, white, and peppermint clay bits. I don't remember where I got these, but I think I'm just going to use the red and white sprinkle part. I don't know, maybe not the candies. Take out a few little gingerbread guys and then just kind of randomly put them down onto my cookie. Oops. Okay, so we have the gingerbread guys on there, maybe one more down on this end. All right, then I'm going to add some of the red and white sprinkles. And just going to pick them out and add them. Okay, so when you get all the sprinkles on the way you like them, add some glitter. That will look like sugar that's on your cookie, which will really help to make it look more realistic. Oops, dropped some of my sprinkles. That's okay. All right, so I'm just putting it on this piece of paper here, just like a clean piece of paper. And I'm using this glitter from Hobby Lobby, just plain crystal glitter. I think it looks more like sugar. I don't like to use the shaker part of the jar. I just like to sprinkle it on myself. So I pour a little bit in my hand and sprinkle it all over the cookie. And you want to get a nice even coating. Add a lot because when it dries, it's a little bit less shiny than when you put it on. Okay, so there we have our cookie. This is basically how I make actual cookies, just haphazard sprinkles. So, people will not be surprised that this is from me. All right, so we're going to let this dry probably overnight, and I'll be back to show you how to finish it up when it's all done. Okay, it is the next day and our cookie ornament is all dry. I wanted to show you, I should have let the Distress Oxide dry before I put the frosting on because it did kind of color the edges a little bit. I'm okay with that because I think it looks pretty good on this like darker gingerbread ornament or cookie ornament, but I probably should have let it dry first. So you might want to do that if you're making this. But yeah, it came out really cute, I think. I think it really does look like a cookie. So it's time to add the finishing touches, including the hanger. For these, the bells, I showed you I added some embellishments, and the back I hot glued on a piece of cording and then just a button to hold it in place. I did that for that one as well. This one I'm going to try something a little bit different. I wanted to add a tag, And I had these tags that I made. These are printed out from stamps from the LOTB Digi Shop, Lily of the Valley Digi Shop on Etsy. I'll link them down below in case you're interested. But so I put eyelets through them, and just thought we would, you know, try out different ones to see which one looked good. I think that these two are too big. Like if I hung that on there, I don't know, I guess that looks okay. And then there's this one. This one's definitely too big, I think. But I'm thinking the Jingle Bells one will be the best. Yeah, so I'm gonna put a piece of twine through that and wrap it around, and then probably add a couple Jingle Bells too. This one, I don't think I'm going to add the button on the back. I think I'm just going to make a loop with the twine and then wrap the twine all around it to hold it in place. So I'm going to cut off a piece. Okay, and that's going to go like that. I think that'll be the top. And then, you know what, I'm just going to hot glue this in place, and then we'll wrap the twine around it. So let me get my hot glue. I got a finger protector for when I hold it in place to dry. So let's just do that. Got my glue gun. Just gonna put a dollop of glue and get my protected finger and hold it in place. All right, so we've got the rest of the twine. I'm gonna take it and just kind of, well, you know what, I'm going to cut a big length of it to begin with. I'll just make it easier to work with. And then I'm just going to wrap it around a few times. I love how the twine looks so rustic, and then, you know, you have the sparkle of the glitter. I just like the contrast. Okay, so that's a few times. Let's tie a knot there. Like that, and then you could see it holds that, oops, sorry, that loop in place as well. Okay, so I'm going to add, let me just scrunch that down. I'm going to add a few Jingle Bells and the tag. So let's do the tag first. Got my eyelet. I'm just going to take my twine and put it through. Okay, and then let's add a Jingle Bell to each side. To that one. It's always nice when an ornament jingles too. Okay, so now we have a Jingle Bell on each side and the tag. So I'm just going to tie a bow now. Just hold it up so I can see. Okay. This twine I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. It was like in a pack of all sorts of different colors. So I picked out this color to use for this project because it's light and doesn't really take away from the tag and the cookie. All right, so let's trim that. Trim the ends. And there we have our ornament. Probably just adjust these a little bit, but I think it looks pretty cute. Okay, so, oops, sorry about my tripod. So that is our gingerbread cookie ornament made out of a Dollar Tree wood shape. I think it's really cool that you could take something just as simple as this and turn it into this. This would be great for your tree or for a gift for somebody, a gift topper. I think on this ornament, it would look nice if I added like little jemmies or something to each point, you know, something, or maybe some jingle bells, but I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. So that is the project. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them if I can. This center is actually still a little wet, so you might have to wait at least 24 hours for the puffy paint to dry, depending on how thick you put it on. So I'm just gonna leave this to further dry, but that's it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and please stay tuned for more crafty videos. I hope you have a great day, and yeah, thanks again for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.